You've probably noticed more hair in your brush lately, maybe a few extra strands on your pillow, and you're wondering if this is just normal shedding or something you should actually be concerned about. Here's what most people don't realize. While the hair care industry sells you expensive treatments, promising miraculous results, there's a traditional remedy that addresses the root cause of hair loss, and it's been working for generations. The difference is, nobody's making billions of dollars selling you black cumin seeds and almonds, so you won't see commercials about it. Today, I'm going to share something that changes how you think about hair loss. This isn't just another recipe. It's specific knowledge about what's actually happening on your scalp right now. Processes you can't see, but that are affecting your hair follicles at this very moment. We'll cover exactly what goes into this herbal oil, why each ingredient matters based on actual research, how to prepare it correctly, and most importantly, how to apply it safely. Let's get to it. First, let's talk about what's actually happening on your scalp right now that you can't see. You know that feeling when you run your fingers through your hair and it just doesn't feel as full as it used to, right? You've probably been told it's just aging or genetics, and there's nothing you can do about it. But here's what they don't tell you. Your scalp is living tissue that's either being nourished or slowly starved at this very moment. Right now, as you're watching this, your hair follicles need 3 specific things to function properly: proper hydration, adequate blood flow, and essential nutrients. Without these, the hair growth cycle gets disrupted in ways you can't see until it's already happening. The follicles weaken gradually. Hair strands become brittle from the inside out, and new growth slows down so subtly you don't notice until months later. This is why most treatments fail. They're trying to fix hair that's already damaged instead of addressing what's happening at the follicle level right now. You were right to be concerned. This isn't just vanity. It's your body telling you something needs attention. Now, let's look at the first ingredient that most dermatologists won't mention in a standard consultation: black cumin seeds. You've probably walked past these small dark seeds in the spice aisle without giving them much thought. They seem like just another cooking ingredient, harmless and ordinary enough. But here's something the beauty industry doesn't advertise. Black cumin seeds, also called Nigella sativa, contain the same antifungal and antibacterial compounds found in expensive scalp treatments that cost $50 or more per bottle. Research shows these compounds actively combat the scalp conditions that interfere with healthy hair growth, conditions that are more common than most people realize. The seeds also hydrate both the scalp and hair shaft at a cellular level, which leads to improved texture and natural shine. Not temporarily, but through actual nourishment. For this remedy, you'll need exactly 1 tablespoon of black cumin seeds. This specific amount provides enough active compounds to be effective without overwhelming your scalp. Here's what's important to understand. Most people have some level of scalp inflammation or fungal activity they're not aware of. It's not always visible as dandruff. Sometimes it's just subtle irritation that weakens follicles over time. Now you know why your scalp health matters more than you thought. The second ingredient is almonds, and there's research behind this that explains why expensive hair supplements contain the exact same compounds. You probably think of almonds as just a healthy snack, something good for your heart maybe. Just food. But here's what surprises most people when they learn the science. Almonds are exceptionally rich in biotin, a B vitamin that pharmaceutical companies isolate and sell as hair growth supplements for $20 to $30 a bottle. The vitamin E in almonds acts as a protective antioxidant for your hair follicles, defending them against environmental damage and oxidative stress that accumulates daily. But that's not all. Almonds also contain magnesium and omega-3 fatty acids, both of which nourish the hair follicle at a level most topical products never reach. When your follicles lack these specific nutrients, hair growth slows in ways you won't notice for weeks or months. By the time you see the thinning, the damage has been progressing invisibly. For this oil, you'll need 10 to 12 almonds. This quantity provides a concentrated dose of these beneficial compounds without making the oil too heavy or difficult to apply. Now you understand why this works. You're applying the actual nutrients follicles need, not just coating your hair with silicones that create an illusion of health. Next up is black pepper, and this is where it gets interesting because most people have no idea about this compound. You see black pepper on your dinner table every day, and it seems far too ordinary to do anything therapeutic for your hair, just a common spice. But here's what medical research reveals. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, and this specific compound has a remarkable effect that expensive scalp serums try to replicate synthetically. Piperine enhances blood flow to the hair follicles, and here's why that matters more than you think. Increased blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reaching those follicles at the exact moment they need it for growth. Better nourished follicles produce stronger, healthier hair. This isn't marketing language. This is measurable cellular activity happening on your scalp. The piperine also helps fight the fungal activity that causes dandruff and maintains overall scalp health. You can't have healthy hair growth without a healthy scalp environment, but most products only address symptoms, not the underlying cause. For this remedy, you'll use just 3 to 4 black peppercorns. This small amount is enough to stimulate circulation without causing irritation. More isn't better here. The goal is gentle, sustained stimulation, not an aggressive reaction that could damage sensitive tissue. Now you have information that puts you ahead of most people spending hundreds on treatments that don't address these fundamental mechanisms. Now, let's talk about the base oil, because this is the foundation that carries all these beneficial ingredients to your scalp. And the choice actually matters. You might be wondering which oil to choose, and here's something most advice gets wrong. There isn't one universal answer. The most versatile option is coconut oil, which works well for most people and is widely available. Coconut oil penetrates the hair shaft more effectively than many other oils, and it has its own antimicrobial properties that support scalp health. However, if you live in a cold climate, or you're dealing with a very dry scalp or significant dandruff issues, sesame seed oil is the better choice. This isn't arbitrary. Sesame oil is heavier and more nourishing in cold weather conditions when skin barrier function is compromised and moisture loss accelerates. Whichever oil you choose, you'll need exactly 250 milliliters. This amount is enough to prepare a batch that will last you several applications, making the remedy both practical and cost-effective. The key is choosing an oil that suits your scalp's specific needs, not just following generic advice. If coconut oil makes your scalp feel greasy or uncomfortable, switch to sesame. Your comfort matters because consistency is what produces results. You can't benefit from something you stop using because it feels wrong. Here's how to prepare this oil correctly, because the preparation method determines whether the active compounds actually infuse properly. You know how some home remedies seem complicated, and you're not sure if you're doing it right? This process is straightforward, but the steps matter more than most tutorials explain. First, take your almonds, black peppercorns, and black cumin seeds, and place them in a blender. Grind them until you get a fine powder consistency. Don't leave large chunks. The finer the powder, the more surface area for extraction. This is basic chemistry that makes the difference between a weak infusion and an effective one. Set this powder aside. Now, take your 250 milliliters of base oil and warm it gently. This is important. You're not trying to cook anything here. The oil should be lukewarm, just warm enough to help extract the beneficial compounds from the powdered ingredients without destroying heat-sensitive vitamins like vitamin E. Once the oil is warmed, add your ground powder to it, mix thoroughly, and place the mixture on low heat for a few minutes. Watch the oil carefully. As it heats, you'll notice the color starting to change. That color change is your visual signal that extraction is happening. It means the compounds from the seeds, almonds, and pepper are infusing into the oil at a molecular level. As soon as you see that color shift, turn off the heat immediately. Now, let this mixture sit at room temperature for 24 hours. This resting period allows for complete infusion that heat alone can't achieve. After 24 hours, filter the oil to remove all the solid particles. What you're left with is a clear, concentrated, infused oil ready for application. Now you've created something more potent than most commercial products, and you know exactly what's in it. Now, before you rush to apply this oil, there's a critical safety step you absolutely must take. And most natural remedy advice skips this completely. You might think that because these are natural ingredients, there's no risk of a reaction. This is a dangerous assumption. But here's what you need to understand. Natural doesn't automatically mean safe for everyone. And this is where people make mistakes. Some people have sensitivities or allergies to specific plant compounds, and you won't know until you test. Assuming you're fine without testing is how reactions happen. Before applying this oil to your entire scalp, you need to perform a patch test. This isn't optional. Take a small amount of the oil and apply it to 3 specific areas. First, the inside of your wrist. Second, a small spot on your neck. Third, the area just behind your ear. These locations are sensitive and will show a reaction quickly if you're going to have one. This is the same protocol dermatologists use for allergy testing. Leave the oil on these test spots for 2 to 3 hours. Then check carefully for any redness, itching, or irritation. If all 3 areas look and feel completely normal, the oil is safe for you to use on your scalp. If any of the test areas show even mild irritation, do not use this oil. This simple test could prevent a much more serious reaction on your entire scalp. Now you're approaching this intelligently, not just hoping for the best. Here's the correct way to apply this oil for maximum benefit, because application technique determines how effectively the compounds reach your follicles. You've probably just poured hair oil on your head and hoped for the best, right? Most people do, but application technique actually matters quite a bit. You can use either a cotton pad or your fingertips, whatever feels more comfortable and gives you better control. Start by applying the oil directly to the roots of your hair, not the ends. This is crucial. The follicles are at the root level, not halfway down your hair shaft. Part your hair in sections if it's long, and apply the oil to each section of your scalp methodically. Make sure you're reaching the scalp itself, not just coating the hair. The goal is follicle nourishment, not just conditioning the hair you can see. Once you've covered all the roots, then you can apply the remaining oil along the length of your hair if you want additional conditioning. After application, leave the oil on for at least 1 hour. 2 hours is even better if your schedule allows, because absorption takes time. Some people prefer to apply it at night and rinse it off in the morning, which works well for deeper penetration. However, don't leave it on for more than 8 to 10 hours. Beyond that time frame, the oil can actually make your scalp feel heavy, clog pores, and become counterproductive. After your chosen duration, wash your hair thoroughly with your regular shampoo. You may need to shampoo twice to remove all the oil. The key is consistency. This isn't a one-time miracle treatment, and anyone promising instant results is misleading you. You'll need to apply this oil 2 to 3 times per week for several weeks to see meaningful results. This is how actual hair growth works, gradually and with sustained effort. Now, here's something crucial that the hair care industry absolutely doesn't want you thinking about. You can apply the best oil in the world to your scalp, but if your body isn't healthy from the inside, you're only addressing half the problem. This might sound frustrating, like there's always something more you need to do, and you'd rather have a simple solution. But here's the reality. Hair grows from the inside out, not from the outside in. Your hair follicles depend on specific nutrients circulating in your bloodstream right now. External treatments can only do so much. If you're deficient in vitamin D3, your hair growth will suffer no matter what you apply externally. This is documented in medical literature, but rarely discussed in beauty content. The same goes for iron and ferritin levels. Low ferritin is one of the most common causes of hair loss in women, and it's consistently overlooked by standard medical checkups unless you specifically ask. Your hemoglobin levels matter too, because hemoglobin carries oxygen to your cells, including your hair follicles. Without adequate oxygen, follicles can't function optimally. And your thyroid health plays a crucial role in hair growth that most people never connect. An underactive or overactive thyroid directly affects hair density, texture, and growth rate. These aren't just vague health concerns. They're specific, measurable factors that you can check with simple blood tests. If you're serious about improving your hair health, work with your doctor to test these specific markers. Vitamin D3, iron, ferritin, hemoglobin, and thyroid panel. Address any deficiencies you discover with proper supplementation or treatment. This internal work, combined with the external care from this herbal oil, gives you the best possible chance of seeing real improvement. Now you understand what most people never figure out, that hair health is a whole body issue, not just a scalp issue. So here's what we've covered today. And this is information most people never get access to in this level of detail. You've learned about a traditional herbal oil that combines black cumin seeds, almonds, and black pepper in a base oil to support hair growth and scalp health at the follicle level. You understand exactly why each ingredient matters based on actual research, not marketing claims. You know how to prepare the oil correctly, and most importantly, how to apply it safely. You also know that external care is only part of the solution, and you need to pay attention to your internal health markers, like vitamin D, iron, and thyroid function. The power here is in combining both approaches. Most people only try one or the other and wonder why results are limited. Now you have specific, actionable information that you can use starting today. You're more informed than most people spending money on expensive treatments that don't address these fundamental issues. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments what hair concerns you're dealing with. I read every comment and often make videos based on what you're asking about. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos like this one where we talk about what actually works, not just what sells. Share this with someone who's struggling with hair loss and could use this information. They'll thank you for it. Take care of yourself.